What is up guys, and welcome back to another My Team Career Mode episode. And today we're going to Jeddah. But first let's take a look at this powertrain event.
Unfortunately, we need you to step in and make an executive decision here.
Okay, so there's an issue with overworked staff and it's beginning to affect overall productivity. So now they're asking us how to reduce the workload. Do we invest more in the department, which will cost us more, or do we reduce the workload and then we lose a lot of resource points? I don't want to lose those resource points, and we do have the cash to spare, so let's choose to invest.
You handled that well. Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking at my engine parts and my MGU-H is almost 50% worn, and we still have a third one that we can switch to with only 2 races to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the third one right now. That way we won't have any wear on our MGU-H, which would have otherwise resulted in a lot of overheating of the engine. Okay, look at those constructor standings. There's only 1 point between us and Red Bull right now. And we've got only 2 races left this season. So let's hope Massa will qualify high up the grid as well, because we'll need to score decent points with both drivers if we want to win the Constructors' Championship. Okay, here's some good news. 2 of our Spec 3 aero upgrades have been completed. So we should have a lot more downforce going into Jeddah. Now we can also start our final aero upgrade, which will be a drag reduction upgrade. And if we go with the standard development schedule, it'll not be completed in time for Abu Dhabi. So we'll need to risk it and go for the rushed development. But that does have a 45% failure chance. So let's hope that upgrade doesn't fail. Okay, but let's try and win that Constructors' Championship. Let's go to qualifying. Oh, we lost too much time in that final chicane. Now it's only P5. We could have been on pole here. We do have the pace. But with P5 we'll still be close to the front runners. So let's try and fight for a win.
So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah. One of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. And now, host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Felipe Massa completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Verstappen, Jackson and Tsunoda, Norris, Leclerc, Bottas and Lance Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Sainz, Lundgaard, Fernando Alonso, Nikita Mazepin and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Vettel, Ricciardo and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights. position, you're in 4th position. Perez ahead, less than a second separate you. They're on fresh softs. Verstappen behind, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 2.0 seconds. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time, 24 laps to go. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. P3, P3. Less than a second separate you. Perez is behind you. They're on old softs. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps, 21 laps to go. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy that. You are currently in P3. The gap is less than a second. They're on old softs. Perez behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on old softs. Pit window will open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. 19 laps to go. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Push now. We're boxing this lap. Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving. Slot in behind and try to keep up with them. There might be an opportunity to take a place back. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Complete, go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Felipe's in the pits, Felipe in the pits. Place. You're in 8th place. Verstappen is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 8.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Gasly behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.6 seconds. They're on old softs. Our gap to first place is 24.7 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. 14 laps to go. Norris ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 4.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Our gap to the car in front is 4.3 seconds. Norris is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 1 lap old. The time last lap was a 1:29.2. Yellow flag. The time last lap was a 1:28.6. Okay, clear. P7, 7th place. Norris just ahead. Push for the position. Gap to car in front is 3.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Alonso is behind you. Our gap behind is 8.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The gap to the leader is 10.8 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. There are 10 laps to go. Okay, gap ahead is 3.5 seconds. Caution, caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Norris ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 2.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:29.2. We're gaining by about 9/10 a lap. Keep it up. Teammate ahead is 6.5 seconds. Norris is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 2.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:28.6. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Gap to car in front is 1.5 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. We have P6. Sonoda's just ahead, push hard. The gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Norris is behind you. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 7.2 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. That lead at the top of the table has shrunk somewhat today. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, Crofty, Daniel Ricciardo would have to be my driver of the day. It's less about what he did right, but how little he did wrong. Perfect driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull pull further ahead in the standings. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.